Hello and welcome to What Culture Wrestling with myself, Andrew Pollard. As you can see, I have a very, very special guest today. One of the UK's own, tearing it up across the world. TNA, Rev Pro, Progress, GCW, wherever. Leon Slater. Leon, how are you? And thanks for coming and giving us some time as well.
I'm very good, thank you, Andrew. I'm blessed to be here and I'm excited to chat. Let's do it.
Yeah, man, it's a big old time for yourself. I mean, of course, when we talk about TNA, which is your main home these days, then people can keep up with that on TNA Plus, which is available in the UK for £9.99 a month, $9.99 a month in the US, where you get your weekly Impact, Explosion, all the specials. You can order all the pay-per-views through that, or you can grab a seasonal or annual subscription that also includes the pay-per-views. Of those specials, we've got a couple of big ones coming up. There is Unbreakable on Thursday, the 17th of April from Las Vegas. And then on pay-per-view, TNA Rebellion on Sunday, the 27th of April, which we'll get into that in a lot more detail because that's... I'm scared for you for that one, but we'll get into that in a second. But
That's a big one. It's a big
man,
one.
that's huge. That's a huge matchup there. But just in general, TNA in the UK. I mean, I'm not sure if it's felt across the pond in the US, but how big a deal TNA has been for so long in the UK. Because I mean, obviously, Sky is behind the paywall for so long with WWE there, and then we had TNA that would, I mean, WCW were gone, ECW were gone. You'd get the wrestling channel early on and have like maybe Irish whip wrestling, which is scary to think you weren't even born then. It makes me feel really, really old. But the fact that TNA was a thing on free TV, on Challenge, on Bravo,
Yeah.
and then obviously British Boot Camp as well. So TNA feels very much like there's a lot there that ties in with the British fans. So how important is it for you to fly the flag there in TNA?
It's absolutely huge, man. Especially like you said, like for someone like myself that didn't have the Sky Sports subscriptions and there was kind of missed the wrestling channel era. TNA definitely felt like it was almost for us, right? Like WWE was behind a paywall. Like you said, like WCW, ECW was gone. There was definitely no AEW at the time. So TNA was like the alternative. And for someone like myself, like I said, that didn't grow up with Sky Sports, TNA was huge. And especially like I always remember pretty vividly like catching the TNA stuff on YouTube way before I found like WWE stuff on YouTube. So TNA just having that wherewithal to be that active on social media and YouTube and Facebook at the time as well, like that early was a huge part of my childhood. And I'm very proud to say that I grew up a TNA kid, and I'm even prouder to say that I'm a TNA wrestler right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, Will Ospreay, I thought, put it really well towards the end of 23 into 24, just before he signed with AEW. And he said how he grew up as you said there, a TNA kid, and he just wanted to kind of tick that off the bucket list that was to go and wrestle for TNA. I mean, at the moment, we've got Joe Hendry as a TNA champion. You've got Danny Luna, Zaya Brookside. Previously, there's been Nick Aldis, Rockstar Spud, Doug Williams, Mandrews, Flash Morgan Webster, and of course, Nigel McGuinness.
Yes.
And those people served as, especially the names of the past, served as role models for the next generation of wrestlers, but specifically for British wrestlers. How is it for you now knowing that could be you? You could be that role model for, that kid who in 15 years time starts wrestling training, or 10 years time starts wrestling training, thinking, I grew up wanting to do this because I saw Leon Slater on TNA.
To be honest, it's something I can't quite process yet because I think in many ways I still am that kid. Like getting to work with people like the Hardys, people like Nick Nemeth, people that I've grown up watching and idolizing. I think I still am very much in that seat. So for me to like try and view 5, 10, 15 years into the future, like I was saying, I almost have a difficult time doing it, but it's definitely something I don't take lightly. And like, that's the kind of mindset that I'm carrying into every time I go out for TNA, right? Like I'm not only representing myself, representing my family, my friends, like I'm representing a whole country. And I'm setting an example for a whole new generation, like you said. So it's definitely something I don't take lightly. And again, it's something I'm very proud and I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to do so.
Yeah. And like you said, you're still, it's not like you're a veteran of the business these days. You're 20 years of age. You've been wrestling, doing this for what, 6 years by now. So you've earned your stripes, but it's still 20 and so much scope to improve and already so good. But I mean, how you go with the schedule? Because I was looking at like your schedule, it's nuts. Obviously, you're back and forth to the States for TNA. You were in Germany last month for WXW, France at the start of the year and some of last year, Southampton this coming weekend as we're recording this for Rev Pro against David Francisco. Maybe possibly Vegas next week. Who knows? And then obviously you're in Doncaster against Michael Oku next weekend, WrestleMania weekend. Then Los Angeles for Rebellion and Ultimate X, then Barcelona maybe for Rev, well,
Yeah.
definitely for Rev Pro. Like, how are you finding this schedule, man? It's nuts. And we talked about this before we start recording that it's obviously it's very better to be busy than not busy.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. It's definitely better to be busy than not busy. I'll say that first and foremost. But I think the schedule, although it can weigh heavy sometimes, it's one of those things where you have to step back and take a look and really just be appreciative of it. Because there's so many people like from the UK, from America, from Europe that would kill to be in my position. So every time I'm sat on a 6, 7, 8 hour flight, like my body's hurting and my hips are tight because I've been sat down longer than I've been stood up or laid flat. I definitely like have to take myself out of it for a second and really just appreciate the opportunities that I have, and like you said, even in this month of April, I'm in the States and like I'm in a couple different places in the States. I'm in a couple different places in Europe. I'm up and down the UK. And there's not many people that get to say that, right? Like I really am traveling the world, getting to do what I've wanted to do since I was 3, 4 years old. And it's something that I've been preparing for since I was like even younger than that, right? Like ever since I started training, I think I was 9 or 10 when I started training. So like it's something that I've been working towards and preparing for I guess like 10 years now, which is crazy to say that I'm like I don't want to call myself a 10-year veteran because of course my debut wasn't when I was 10 years old, or at least not in front of a paying audience. But yeah, man, it's something I've been working towards pretty much my whole life. So the fact that I'm in this moment now and I'm getting to enjoy it, and it's not something that I'm saying, oh, one day I'd love to travel to America and I'd love to travel around Europe. And I'm definitely not at the point yet where I'm going, man, those days where I used to be able to fly around the world doing what I love, I'm in it right now. And I'm very, very much like trying to just take it all in and enjoy every moment of it. Although the schedule is very tiring and very heavy, I'm trying to enjoy every single moment I can.
Yeah, it's not like well, I've got to go and wrestle Nick Nemeth, or I've got to go and team with the Hardys, or what is me, the tiny little violin. I've got to go and wrestle
Yeah.
Speedball last year, or Osprey. It's like, yeah.
Exactly that. Exactly that.
I've got to ask as well that the Swanton 450 is one of the most nuts moves I think any wrestling fan has ever seen. Where, when did you think, like, I reckon I can, there's the Swanton, there's a 450. I reckon I can somehow blend these together and pull off one of the most impressive, possibly the most impressive move in the business right now. How did you, what was the genesis of that move? Because it's crazy to watch. I'm terrified every time I see it. And it just always looks so smooth.
Well, first of all, I appreciate it. And I think the thought process behind it was a combination of me training since I was pretty much a baby, and being a huge Hardy Boy fan when I was growing up. Like Matt and Jeff were my guys growing up, man. I can't express it enough. And I think a combination of that, and like I said, like training from a super young age, I was just always in a ring trying stuff. And the Swanton 450 isn't something I've had locked down for years and years. Like it's taken me kind of years and years to really master it and have it where I can't really fail it, and have it consistent. But it really just started from practicing 450s since I was like 10 or 11 or whatever age I was. And as I got older and I grew into my body a bit more and I became a bit more athletic, and places like PPW opened and gave me that environment to try new stuff, I realized that I had a really nice like regular 450. So like every week I'd like try and stick like started with my head, and then next week after that I'd go like head and arms, and then the week after that it was head, arm, and legs, and then I try and just practice those movements every week until it's kind of turned into what it is now, which is something that I think makes me unique because nobody else can do it, or nobody else that I know of can do it. If you can do it, please don't. Please let me have this one thing. I know there's some crazy athletic people out there. Just let me have this one thing. But yeah, I like to think that it's very much a Leon Slater trademark move by now.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Yeah, and that nicely brings me on to my next topic, which was going to be the Hardys, because yeah, I mean, I think I grew up that generation where I grew up through the late 80s and into the 90s. But when you're coming into it, it's like you have the Hardys, just the Hardy Boys back as it was the Hardys, Edge and Christian, Dudleys, all of that. And then obviously the Hardys gone on to become, some would say, the greatest tag team in all the wrestling. Obviously, both had fantastic singles careers as well as world champions. So for you to grow up I mean, if you didn't say you're a Hardy Boys fan, people would know immediately from watching your work and watching your gear and watching your mannerisms of like, this dude's a Hardy Boys fan. So what is it like for you just to I mean, not just team with them, but just to be around them and sit under that learning tree. No, no pun intended with Chris Jericho there, but just to have that to cherry pick from the brains of Matt and Jeff.
It's again, like I feel like I'm repeating myself here, but it really is something that I don't take lightly, man, and I'm super grateful for because there is not many 20-year-olds that I can think of that get to say they get to work with their heroes every couple of weeks, right? And I very much realize that this run isn't going to last forever, whether that's my run here or the Hardys run here. I realize it's not going to last forever. So it's another one of those things where I'm really just trying to soak everything in, whether that's like doing stuff in the ring with the Hardys or just being around the Hardys backstage. I still have to pinch myself every time they walk in the room. And I think I'm just trying to be as much as a sponge as I can. So once this time is up, because I realize it's not going to last forever, I can take the stuff that I've learned and the experiences that I've had with them, and more than anything, just take the memories that I've had with two of the people that I've grown up idolizing, and getting to know them as people and them getting to know me as a person. I think more than anything, I just want to enjoy that. You know what I mean? And I think there's going to be a day where I look back on this part of my career and this portion of my life very, very fondly. So while I'm in it, similar to what I was saying about the travel, I'm really just trying to, number one, be a sponge, just learn as much as possible and carry those lessons forward. And number two, just enjoy getting to spend time with people that I grown up idolizing, my heroes, because not many 20-year-olds get to say that, especially 20-year-olds from the UK. I'm from Bradford, especially.
Yeah, exactly, man. Taking every single second of that. I mean, you've got to team with Matt and Jeff against the system. Then there was teaming with Matt in the big 10-man steel cage match at Sacrifice. I mean, not saying necessarily there has to be a big, soppy breakup or somebody turns on the other, but what about the chances of, Leon Slater against either Hardy, a Matt or a Jeff? Is that something that's on your bucket list? I mean, maybe, if only you had a tag team partner and they were a bit boisterous. I mean, man like Darius, I'm just saying, what are the chances of maybe you getting in the ring against either the Hardys in the singles or in a tag at some point down the line?
So I think of the two-part question that's very, very interesting. To put myself first, I think either of those matchups is extremely intriguing, and I think there's lots of different ways those matchups could go. You know what I'm saying? Would it be the youngest in charge versus a broken Matt, or would it be the kind of classic Hardy Boys Matt, or could it be version 1 Matt, or could it be a whole new version of Matt? And even with Jeff, right, could it be Willow I'm looking against, or could it be the Antichrist I'm looking against? Could it be a whole new version of Jeff, right? I think those guys are so creative, and I like to think within myself, I kind of steal from that, and I kind of take some of that creativity. And I really feel like if or when those singles matches happen, they'll be extremely special, not only to me, but to our audience as well. And as far as the lyrical goes, the lyrical dragon, man like Darius, I think that is just as intriguing, if not more intriguing, right? Arguably the best tag team that the UK has right now, and myself and Darius versus probably the best tag team of all time, right? I think that's a very interesting matchup. We saw something similar with the Hardys and Fraxium. I'd be interested to see in the challenge that me and Darius could provide for Matt and Jeff. And that's something I really hope gets to happen one day, the singles and the tag.
Yeah, I mean, Darius obviously worked for TNA earlier in the year, did the match there. Was, by all accounts, reports saying he was at the UK tryout for WWE a couple of weeks ago. So we'll see on that one. But I think you two guys together in TNA, man, that's something special. But for now, you've got something very special going with, like you said there, some would say the greatest tag team of all time. Now,
absolutely.
Switching gears to Unbreakable, which is Thursday, the 17th of April, WrestleMania week, as it were, in Vegas. Currently, there's nothing on for you yourself. Is there a chance that you might be there and doing something, or
there's absolutely a chance. There's always a chance the boy's going to show up. I'm in Vegas for that week, and as you said, there's nothing planned for me right now. But you got to watch TNA Impact on TNA Plus every week on a Thursday to find out what's going on with that. But Unbreakable is going to be special, man. We're crowning a new international champion, and in honor of the Unbreakable three-way, all of the matches in the tournament three-ways, which I think is very, very interesting because we have such a diverse roster at the minute. Throwing not only two people together, but three of our roster members in one match is going to create something special, man. So I've definitely got my eyes on whoever turns out to be the international champion, and I've most definitely got my eyes on Unbreakable this year.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the time, if people see three ways on TV or on pay-per-view specials, whatever, it's like, why does this need to be a three-way, especially three of them in a ways in the two semi-finals and then obviously the
Yeah.
final. But with this one, like you said, it pays homage to Styles, Daniels, Samoa Joe back in the day, which is some would say is the greatest match in TNA history. I mean, so and on the 20th anniversary of that, perfect. So I mean, we've got AJ Francis against the winner of Eddie Edwards, Ace Austin, Steve Macklin, against the winner of Zachary Wentz, Eric Young, EY, and JDC. So just as a quick one there on that one, Leon, who have you got winning, walking out of Unbreakable as the inaugural international champion?
That's a tricky one, man. That's a real tricky one. I think there's two people I have in my mind. Number one is my boy Ace Austin. I feel like he's been more than ready for a singles title for the longest. I know he's a three-time X Division champion, multi-time tag team champion. And obviously, since the unfortunate news with Chris happened, I really feel like it's almost given him not a kick up the arse, but like definitely a boost to his motivation and his work ethic, which was already crazy. So I feel like Ace and just speaking to him in the events leading up to Unbreakable is very, very locked in on capturing that international title, not only for himself, but almost to honor Chris as well. And apart from that, I think Macklin also has a really good fighting chance as a former world champion, someone that's been extremely consistent over the past year. I remember my first event with TNA actually was Sacrifice 2024, and I sat backstage at the monitor watching him and Nick Nemeth go out and absolutely kill it. And he's been putting on performances like that consistently over 2024 and now into 2025. So I'd be really interested to see if either of those two end up, and those two would definitely be my picks to become the new international champion.
Yeah, I mean, I'm rooting for Ace. We came and joined us, I think last month it was, on the channel for a chat, and just
Sweet.
What a dude, man! What a dude! All the time to work for that guy. After that, though, we do have, this is where you come into it in a big way. We've got TNA Rebellion Sunday the 29th of April from Los Angeles. Again, you can order that either on pay-per-view on TNA Plus, or you can get the bigger TNA Plus package where this is included in it. This is where I have to question your sanity, Leon, where it's like Ultimate X, one of probably the most intense match. I mean, yes, you got your Monsters Ball, but probably the most intense match in TNA history. It's Leon Slater versus the X Division champion Moose versus Matt Cardona versus Casey Navarro, which I think is a very smart dark horse there, a hell of a talent, versus El Hijo del Vikingo versus a to-be-confirmed mystery opponent that we've yet to learn as of now. Now, this is your quest to become the youngest champion in TNA history. What are the feelings, the nerves, the anticipation, the excitement, the fear, dare I say? Because, I mean, we've seen such crazy stuff over the years. Even if you go back to, I mean, Kazarian with a leg drop at Victory Road 2008.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Kaz with the cutter to Daniels hanged upside down. There's Saban with the knockout inverted drop kick on AJ, the Elix Skipper crossbody insanity. What can we expect from you on this one, sir? And yeah, quest to become the youngest ever TNA champion. Here we are.
So I think growing up as a TNA kid, Ultimate X was the match for TNA, right? I think it always has been, and I think it always will be something that's completely unique to TNA that we kind of have in our own, you know? And I think growing up as a TNA kid, like I said, and getting to almost study these things without knowing I'm studying them, just watching them growing up, like I was saying earlier, I think I've probably seen like 70% plus of Ultimate X matches. Like I would just go on YouTube as a kid and just type in Ultimate X and be on there all day, man. So like I've seen what the structure can do to people, and I've seen what people can do with that structure, you know, and this whole time without knowing it, I've kind of been plotting these ideas in my head. So I'm very excited not only to kind of make that moment my own, like I've tried to do before, whether that's a live episode with JDC or whether that's the cage match at Sacrifice. I'm definitely excited to make a Leon Slater moment inside the Ultimate X. And on top of that, like you said, it's my second chance to become the youngest X Division champion of all time, which has kind of been my goal since I got to TNA. You know, apart from a world title gold, that has been my biggest goal. And I think the X Division championship, again, similar to the Ultimate X, is the flagship TNA title, right? Like that is the thing that people remember TNA for. And I think the X Division definitely had a huge hand in shaping what TNA is today. So to get another chance at that belt, and to get another chance to be the youngest champion, in history is huge for me, you know. And on a platform like Rebellion with people like KC, who I know is in a very similar position to me, both being, you know, the kind of the young up and comers in TNA right now. I know he's going to be fighting hard for it. And Vikingo, who's just an absolutely insane talent, right? Like, I feel like we should be way more scared for him than we should be for me because you already know he's going to do some twisting, like quadruple twisting corkscrew thing off the deal, right? Like, I can just jump high. I can't do what he can do. And on top of that, right, like we got two other dangerous competitors in Moose and Cardona who don't fit the typical X Division mold, which kind of makes them even more dangerous, right? Because I know what to expect with Vikingo. I know what to expect with KC. I'm not sure what to expect with their mystery opponent, but as soon as I find out, I'm pretty sure I'll know what to expect too. But like Cardona and Moose and Ultimate X is something that we haven't seen before. So more than anything, man, I'm kind of nervous to see how they deal with it and to see how they throw a spanner in the works. But I'm definitely excited for the Ultimate X. It's my first Ultimate X. And like I said, it's my second chance to make history. And I think this time is for me. I think it's my time.
Hey, man, we've all got your fingers crossed for you. And like you kind of hinted on there, this is that title is, I mean, dare I say that? Some would say that is the most prestigious title in TNA, and that is one of the most prestigious matches, one of the most brutal matches. I mean, just to run through something that you've got, like it's TNA royalty that have been in these Ultimate X's matches, like whether it's AJ Styles, Daniels, Motor City Machine Gun, Samoa Joe, Kazarian, P.E. Williams, Low Key, Davey Richards, Eddie Edwards, Homicide, Amazing Red, Jay Lethal, Trevor Lee, Austin Aries, Speedball, the Hardys, Dudleys, Beer Money, Josh Alexander, even Abyss, and that's not even including the women's matches. It's
Of course.
and so many of those names as well went on to be they were the X Division. So for you, say you come out of that, how big of a moment is that? That's surely the biggest moment of your career. Obviously, there's the Rev Pro success you had there as the British Cruiserweight, and who knows, maybe you've got other opportunities to come up with Rev Pro soon. But is this the biggest match of your career?
1000%, 1000%. I think my stuff with Rev Pro, again, I hold very close to my heart, being like the number one promotion in the UK. But although Rev Pro is huge here, TNA is huge worldwide, right? And I think to have it on a platform like Rebellion, and especially with a service like TNA Plus, right, where we're not just being broadcast in the UK or the US, like we're really worldwide to anyone that can purchase the service, which is kind of dirt cheap for what it's worth, right? Like you get over like I think 6,000 hours we have on there or something ridiculous for $9.99, which is crazy. So I think on a platform like that, on a stage like Rebellion, with the kind of competition that I'm in there with on the 27th, it most definitely is the biggest match of my life. And I think not if, but when I win that X Division belt, it'll definitely be the biggest achievement of my career and the biggest moment of my career thus far.
Yeah, I told you, man, we're all rooting for you. I've got total faith you're walking out of that with that X Division title around you.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Shoulder, wherever you want to wear it, you'll have earned it. Just a quick one to wrap things up, because I'm very wary of time. Could not bring up the relationship between TNA and WWE. Now, I have seen some comments where you've got a certain Javon Evans, not necessarily in your sights, but somebody on like, I'd like to have a go there because you two very much mirror each other, as in you're both similar age. I believe you both are 20. I think Javon's the same, and you're both the hot young things in your respective promotions. I mean, that seems like a match made in heaven. But I mean, away from Javon as well, is there anybody else or anything else, maybe a particular title even that you've got on your eyes? If say the NXT door comes knocking.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Like it's a very cliche answer and it's a very vague answer, but I've got my eye on everyone, man. Like whether they're holding gold or not, I think just the rivalry that's been generated between TNA and NXT on its own kind of speaks for itself, right? Like I think each brand is trying to prove they're the best, and I'd be more than happy to represent my brand against NXT. But I guess to take it more specific, I think me and the Fraxium guys, whether that's a tag or a singles, would be extremely, extremely interesting. I think me and Ricky Sainz, pardon me, would also be extremely interesting, especially for that North American belt. And for someone like myself that kind of almost grew up on Black and Gold NXT, like the North American belt was my favorite belt at the time. Like people like Ricochet and Adam Cole, and all those type of guys that really just captured my imagination and wrestled a style that I'd never really seen before. I feel like the North American Championship really represents that, and it'd be a huge honor not only to challenge for that, but to possibly win that as well. So yeah, man, I've got my eyes all over the board, whether that's the top belt in the NXT title, the tag belt, or the North American. I really am looking to represent TNA, and I think all of us on this side are looking to be the first one to take some NXT gold home.
Yeah. So basically, you're greedy. It's like I've seen all the gold and I want all of it.
Of course,
Yeah,
of
everyone's on
course.
my
I want
radar.
the world. I want the world, baby.
Yeah, no, man, I'm all here for it. Right, just to wrap things up then, TNA Plus, of course, is available, as mentioned, in the UK for £9.99 a month, which you get your weekly Impact Explosions, all the specials, such as Unbreakable. And then you can also get the seasonal and annual subscriptions that include the pay-per-views as well at a discounted price. So go and crack on and treat yourself to that and watch Leon Slater win a whole bunch of gold, I will say, in the next coming months and years. Leon, how can everybody keep up with you on the socials?
So I am Leon Slater underscore on Instagram, X, and YouTube. And that's TikTok as well. And you can visit leonslater.bigcartel.com for any merchandise.
Fantastic. Any final thoughts for your fans out there before we let you go?
Yeah, I do. I just want to thank everyone, whether that's social media people, people that have seen me in person, people that watch me through TNA Plus. I feel very blessed to be in the position I am now, and I realize that this wouldn't be if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you for all the opportunities that you've helped me receive, and I promise to keep delivering.
Fantastic. And delivered you have, sir. And the future is, yeah, to the moon, I think there. Right, this has been an absolute pleasure, Leon. Again, thank you so much for giving up your time to come and chat to us here at What Culture Wrestling. We'll let you crack on the rest of your day now. Best of luck, well, for TNA, for Rev Pro, for wherever you were going over the globe, because you will absolutely smash it, I'm sure.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Brilliant. No problem at all. That has been Leon Slater. I've been Andrew Pollard. This has been What Culture Wrestling. We will see you soon.